Hello, third graders. I have a story that I'm going to read to you today. It kind of goes along with our SEL, social emotional learning skills, something that we have been working on throughout the year. So this book is called Better Than You. I read another book by this author. I don't remember what it's called, and I believe she also does The Invisible Boy, which Mrs. Faulkner read to you. So this story is called Better Than You. My neighbor Jake can be such a jerk, always letting me know whatever I do, he can do better. Don't get me wrong, Jake is great at practically everything he does, especially sports. Me, not so much. I mean, I know I'm good at writing stories and playing the guitar, but when it comes to basketball, I have to practice a lot just to be a decent player. The jerky side of Jake first started to bug me when I was trying to learn how to do a layup. For weeks, been working on leaping, aiming, and shooting like an NBA star. I even got my older brother Iggy's help. I was so excited when I could finally do it that I went over to Jake's house to show him. Hey, Tyler, what's up? Said Jake. Check this out. I can do a layup. After I showed him the move, he grabbed the basketball from me and said, Yeah, well, I bet you can't do this. Then Jake did a perfect hook shot. He couldn't just say, Cool, Tyler, or Great job, you nailed it. Nope, he had to outdo me. Who am I kidding? I thought. I'll never be great at basketball. Why even bother trying? Last Tuesday morning, I was in the middle of showing Charisse my new music player when Jake came over. What's that? He asked. It's a sound launch, replied Charisse. Tyler just bought it. You're kidding. A sound launch? You should have gotten a Tunage 300, said Jake. Then he went on and on about all the great things his music player could do that mine couldn't. I just stood there, thinking of all the places I'd rather be than right there with Jake. I don't know if any of you ever had that happen to you where you're trying to share something and a friend kind of makes it not so good. Today we had a math test. I hate math. It's my hardest subject. My hands got all sweaty and my brain turns to mush whenever I try to solve the problems. Do you want to know what's worse than taking that test? Having the teacher tell you that the kid to your right would be grading it. I sat next to Jake, so he got to check my answers. Geez, Tyler, I can't believe you got some of these problems wrong, he said. This test was so easy. I must be like 5 times smarter than you in math. There should be a law that kids don't get to grade each other's test. Stupid test. Stupid me. I kind of agree with him. I don't know that having another kid, especially when it's a kid like Jake, grade it is going to help. When I got back home from school, I threw down my backpack, headed to my bedroom, and slammed the door. Hey, Tyler, called Iggy from downstairs. Uncle Kevin's here. When I didn't go say hi to Uncle Kevin, he came upstairs. Why are you holed up in your room? He asked. I didn't say anything and just kept tossing my basketball in the air. You know, Tyler, one of my favorite ways to get rid of the blues is to play 'em, he told me. Yeah. Hmm. We went out to the front porch and started strumming away. Uncle Kevin was right. Playing the guitar did help me feel better, but it still didn't solve my problem with Jake. Oh, so he's playing on the guitar. So think of something else that you could do if you don't play the guitar. After a while, Uncle Kevin said, Did you have a tough day at school? More like a tough month, I grumbled. My friend Jake's been getting on my nerves a lot lately. I know he's better than me at a bunch of stuff, but he doesn't have to rub it in my face all the time. I feel like such a loser when I'm around him. Uncle Kevin nodded as he strummed some more chords. Is Jake like this around your other friends too? I thought about it for a minute. I remembered hearing Carlos tell Oscar at a baseball practice that he was sick of Jake's bragging. He thinks he's better than us, said Carlos. Yeah, what a show off, agreed Oscar. So it wasn't just me that Jake treated this way. The other guys were getting fed up with him too. Maybe it wasn't my fault after all. Maybe it had more to do with him than me. I shared this with Uncle Kevin, and he told me that people like Jake are a lot like the pufferfish we saw at the aquarium last summer. They puff up their bodies to make themselves bigger than they actually are. It's a way of protecting themselves from potential enemies, he explained. But when a kid acts like a pufferfish, he takes up so much space that he can also push away friends. I want to get this image on here because I think it's pretty funny. Uncle Kevin suddenly stood up and shouted, Make way for Pufferfish Man! As he chased me around the porch. Mom almost had a heart attack when she came face to face with Pufferfish Man. I laughed so hard my sides were hurting. So he's saying they are feeling bad about something, and so they puff themselves up or make themselves sound better than they really are to protect themselves from feeling hurt. After Uncle Kevin left, I biked to the schoolyard. When I got there, Jake and Nico, this new kid on my street, were on the field throwing a frisbee. Hey, I said, nodding in their direction. Can I play too? Sure, they both said. When it was my turn to throw the frisbee, I flicked my wrist and put a sweet spin on the disc, flinging it directly to Nico. Nice, said Nico. Thanks, I replied. And then Jake did what he does best. He puffed up. That's nothing, he said. Look what I can do. There he goes again. When it was Nico's turn, he did this amazing throw. Our eyes nearly popped out of our heads. Wow, that was awesome, I told Nico. Thanks. I could teach you how to do it. Really? Oh, hold on. No, I thought I skipped something. Sure, only if you show me how you did your throw. You bet. Then Nico turned to Jake. I can show you too if you'd like. Yeah, well, I know all the cool frisbee throws I need to know, said Jake as he started walking off the field. I ran up to him and said, Come on, Jake, don't go. So what if Nico throws better than us? He's cool. Let's just toss the frisbee around. It'll be fun. Nah, I'm out of here. You coming? I looked at Jake and then at Nico. No thanks. I'm going to stay here with Nico. Whatever, muttered Jake as he turned and headed home by himself. Okay, I really like what he did here about how he tried to kind of compromise in between the two boys, and he's trying to be friends with both of them. It shows that he's a really good friend and he cares about others. Nico and I took turns teaching each other different throws and ended up talking about all kinds of stuff. I found out that Nico just got a guitar for his birthday, so I offered to teach him to play. He thought that was a great idea. You know what? I have a feeling that Nico and I are going to be really good friends. All right, that's the end. Okay, so think about if you have a friend like that and how you could handle that. Here's some things that kind of talk about at the end of the book. Just know that sometimes when kids have that better than you attitude, it has nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. You don't have to feel worse about yourself. Hang out with kids who appreciate you and like you for who you are. Choose friends who make you feel accepted and safe. Remember, nobody is great at everything he or she does. Be more accepting of your strengths and weaknesses, as well as those of others. We've talked about that a lot in the classroom. Some of us have to work harder to be good at things, where some of us, we're lucky and we're natural athletes or naturally good at math. But that doesn't mean you won't be good at it. You just have to work a little bit harder. And again, treat your friends the way you want to be treated, with kindness, compassion, and respect. All right, here's a good book for you to think about in your life with your friends and with yourself. Okay, all right. Thanks for watching, third graders. Bye-bye.